All right, I think we are live. Hello, hi. Got my coffee here, and let's get started with today's live stream. I actually was thinking, what do I want to do with this live stream? What do I want it to be? What is the vibe I want? And the more I think about it, the more I feel like I want this to be like a chill session, like a chill work session. Like, hey, come, let's do some work together instead of just me talking, and let's hang out instead of just me talking. So I was thinking, what do I need for these things? One is absolutely a good coffee. I don't know about good, but it's definitely hot. I like that. And another thing that I like is like some chill work music. So I don't know if you will be able to hear it, but I wanna set the mood, set the vibe, and have some music playing. So let's say work music, chill. Oh, lo-fi. I love like lo-fi chill work music. Okay. Can you hear it? All right. So if you can hear it, great. If you cannot, I will figure out how. Uh, I'm gonna, I'm gonna do it. But at least this is for me. So like, let's get like a chill work vibe going on. Now, another thing I want to do is like just hang out for about an hour, get some work done. You can hang out, come here, chill, maybe focus on some of the work that you're doing, or let's just hang. Cool. So what do I have planned for today's live stream? So first, I wanna show you something. I wanna show you something, which is I have been reading this book called Psychocybernetics, which I have heard is like the OG self-help book. So I've I believe a lot in self-help and learning and getting better and all of those things. And so yeah, so I got this book. I am reading it. I thought a very important thing with these books and everything that I've lately realized is that if you don't apply what you learn, there's really no point of learning them. So, what are we going to do about that? And I have created chapter summaries. Excuse me. Wow. All right. So, chapter one talks about self-image. Self-image. What chapter one says that self-image. It says two things. One is that self-image is at the center of everything that we do, meaning that there's this self image in the center, that your identity or your personality or who you are really is that there's this image you have of yourself in the center, and then there's a collection of ideas, thoughts, beliefs, and everything around it. Now, any new idea that comes in, new thought, new belief that comes in, that is consistent with this whole system is going to be accepted. Anything else is going to be rejected. So if you think you are somebody who is, let's say, poor at poor at doing maths or poor at studies, then everything else following that is going to have to be consistent with that. So you will not be able to do things, or you will not accept things into your identity which say that, or which mean that you are good at something, or which means you're good at mathematics. And then the author dives deep into like a creative mechanism that's there, that is goal seeking, and it will work on whatever goal you set for it, whether it's positive or negative, and it's going to automatically work towards it. And that goal is set through the mental pictures you have, through um, like through the thoughts you have, the attitude you have. Now, attitude is a very important thing. I The way I've thought about attitude, or what I have thought about attitude, has really changed ever since I started working out with a personal trainer. My first personal trainer told me that when you approach the weight, when you're doing squats or when you're doing something, like, approach it with an attitude of that I'm gonna fucking kill this weight. This weight is my bitch. And everything you do in the gym, approach it like that. And I thought that, why just the gym? That is how I should approach everything in life, right? With an attitude of that, this is my bitch, I'm gonna kill it, which I think is very nice. And then it says that our goal is to develop an adequate self image and use the creative mechanism to bring success and happiness uh, into our lives by achieving particular goals. Then in the chapter 2, the author talks about how this creative mechanism has two properties. One property is that it is goal seeking, like a guided missile. So once the missile has a goal, it's going to start and then course correct, course correct, course correct. If the target is moving, it's going to course correct, and then hit the target. So that is goal seeking behavior that this mechanism inside us, inside our mind has. So that is one. And the second property it has is, if it does not know what the goal is, it's going to figure out what the goal is. Essentially, it's like a pathfinder. It's like a scanner that's going to scan for what you want. And the way this works is that the author gives a very good example, that if you turn the light off and you know there are a bunch of things placed on your table, and you want the key that's placed on the table, and there's no light, you cannot see. So what you do is you go in and then you start to feel things. You pick one thing, oh, this is not right. Oh, you pick the second thing, oh, this is not right. And then when you touch the key, you're like, oh yeah, good, this is what I want, and you get it right. So the author describes it as scanning, and that this mechanism also has that property of scanning. So you do not have to worry about how the mechanism is going to achieve the goal. It's going to figure it out. It's going to scan and get you all the things that you need. I think this idea is also like said, like a similar idea has been said in a different manner in the book called The Secret, which was one of the first self-help books that I had ever read. Yeah, so that's how far I've gotten. If you've read Psycho-Cybernetics, uh, let me know whether it has helped you, whether you think it is of any value whatsoever. Okay, now what are we going to do? The second thing that we're going to do is we are going to focus on, we're going to, what is it? Learning a skill, right? Learning a skill. And very important thing that author says in the book, in the second chapter, about learning a skill. And I found it like very, very intriguing. I'm not sure. Find it. I'll read it to you word for word, because I don't wanna like mess it up with my. Yeah. It is characteristic of all learning that as learning takes place, correction becomes more and more refined. We see this in a person just learning to drive a car who overcorrects and zigzags back and forth across the street, right? So what it means is, yeah. So a torpedo accomplishes its goal by going forward, making errors, and continually correcting them. So when you set the goal and trigger it into action, an automatic mechanism takes place where you start course correcting. So the way we look at failures or way we look at learning is really important. Learning is essentially, you try to do something and you fuck up, and then you get negative feedback that you fucked up, and then you course correct. But think about how long are the intervals of this happening. Like, if you were a missile and you've launched and you have to reach your goal in, let's say, 30 seconds, or you will blast, let's say, for example, right? Now, how many times is the missile going to move forward, see if it's moved closer to the goal or not, and then course correct? it's going to do that probably every half a second, even every microsecond. Okay, start, dot, and then try to course correct at every single one of those things. And I think that's how you should do it, right? Compress the timeline where you are course correcting. This is too much of a chill vibe. This is too much of a chill. Let's say work music. Yeah. So that's how you should think about learning any new skill, learning anything really. When you do it for the first time, you're going to make tons and tons of mistakes, and then you take those mistakes and then you get better, and then you do it the second time, the third time, the fourth time. The idea is to not get discouraged and to continue doing and trying and figuring things out so that you can get better. And it is the nature of that, of learning, that you need to make a lot of mistakes and only then you will learn. So you do, you try, you fuck up, you fail, and then you do and try again. Okay, that's all I had to say about these two topics. And now let's look at Instagram and let's write some Instagram scripts because I'm gonna use this time as as like a as like a as like an external pressure, like do some focus work, sit down and do some focus work and get some execution done. So let me show you about everything that we've done thus far and how has that performed. Right. So this we posted, this and this we made on day one. This we made yesterday on day two. So let's look at the performance, right? So let me show you. So this has really done well. The client said, I know another agency who will do this for half price. This has done really well. On day one, this on the day that I posted, it did not get a lot of views. It got like maybe 400 500 views, and then it started climbing slowly, 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 and it got 2200 views, which is great for me because if you look at my average here, it's like 4 500 600 views, right? So every now and then I have 3000 1000. Before that, right? So that is great. So it's on the higher side. And now this is 248. This is a trial reel that I posted. How do I see trial reels here? Let me see if I can figure it out. This is all the stuff that I have saved. Nope. Okay, I cannot see trial reels here. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move the second reel that I have in trial reel. So yesterday we made two reels. So let me show you everything that we did yesterday. Yesterday we worked on this A roll type of video where we're talking about anytime a client asks for a discount, what do you how should you approach it or what should you do, and then we came up with a couple of angles and we made, and then after the stream I made the videos and then I posted them, and this is the result that I've gotten thus far, so which is 250 views. Okay, so let me take a look at the trial reel. So there's two videos, another one has gotten 111, and I'm just gonna move this to the main place as well. Share this to everyone. We have it here. Yeah. Yep. See, are you a noob or a pro freelancer? How to respond when a client asks for a discount? So these are like similar, same topics, and it's a different way to approach it, different angle to approach it. So what are we gonna do now today? Today we're gonna work on more scripts, sit down together, work on more scripts, and figure out how we can create more and better content, right? Stuff like this that gets more views and more everything. Cool. So there are a few ways to do this. Uh, One of the ways is you just look at somebody else who's doing really well and and copy them. And obviously, by copy, I mean take inspiration, not exactly copy because then what are you doing, right? You need to have your own voice. You need to have your own ideas and thoughts. So yeah. So let's see. This guy has 179,000 because he's got a lot of followers. But then that tells me that of all of these the ones that he's posted lately, this is one that is working really well. I've been making six figures freelancing for a year, but if I woke up tomorrow with zero clients, yeah, I have this. I saw he's posted this before as well, and I have this here written down. If I lost all my clients, here is how I'd get three new customers before the new year. And I also returned the script actually. So let's work on making it better and figuring out different angles for this. So first, let's bring this here, where this is video. We're gonna follow something similar to this guy. Okay, and then what's this? Book title, new description. Let's see what he's saying. I'm gonna put my earphones on.
I had to make a. I've been making six figures freelancing for several years now, but if I woke up tomorrow with zero clients and I had to make 100K by the summer,
He says I have been making six figures freelancing for several years now. But if I move up tomorrow,
I've been making six figures freelancing for several years now, but if I woke up tomorrow with zero clients and I had to make 100K
with zero clients, and I have to 100K,
by the summer, here are the first.
100K in my favorite part. Cool. So now we know what this guy has used. I have a good idea for what I want to do for this, but let me walk you through my thought and my idea. So let's look at this video first.
First three moves I'd make. Move one, I would design.
So a shift, and it looks like he's in the middle of a conversation or in the middle of lunch or whatever he's doing,
I've been
and
making six figures freelancing for several years now.
that's how he's recorded this video. Right? Okay, it breaks the scroll cycle or looks a little different, and it's at an angle and stuff like that. So I think a good way to approach this, or one of the ways you should start, would be like walking, talking, and people or something like that. Right. You open the door and just a second, let me do this, and then you start talking about it. Okay, cool. So now let's talk about a few different goals. So let's pick first one that I have already right here. If I lost all my clients, here's how I get three new customers before the new. If I lost, if I woke up tomorrow and lost all my clients, here's how I get three new customers before the new. It's something oddly specific. If I woke up tomorrow and lost all my clients, If I woke up tomorrow and lost all my if I woke up tomorrow and lost all my agency customers, here's how I'd get three new customers before February 2026. Right? It's the same thing, but in a different angle. Here's how I got my first three customers as a freelancer. Now let's look at the content that I've already made. Right? If I woke up tomorrow and lost every one of my clients, here's how I'd get three new clients before the new one. Every one of my clients feels like, oh, people already know who I am or what I do. So I think I'm going to change this a little bit. Yeah, this is a good one. If I woke up tomorrow and lost every one of my clients, here is how I'd get. If I woke up tomorrow and lost all of my agency customers, here's how I'd get three new. And let's test it out. Right? I'm not sure if this is better or that is better. Let's right? Step one, go to Google and search startup meetups in your city. For me, that's Pune. Second, I would make a list of all of the startups and find their contact, all of the events and find their contacts and give them a call. And third is I'll confirm the date and time of when the next event is. And this is the most important part. I'll ask them if they have a WhatsApp group. If they do, I'll ask them if they can add me to it. Step number four. Once you are added to the WhatsApp group, you want to introduce yourself. Hey, I'm Rajan. I do XYZ for ABC type of businesses. I'm really glad to be a part of this group. If anybody here needs my help, I'd be more than happy to do a free consultation, a free video, a free example, or sorry, a free sample, or any of the free stuff that makes it very easy for the people on that group to do it, to engage with me. And then I would end looking forward to meeting everybody at the event on XYZ date. That is the exact message I would send. Then, second, on the day of the event, I would, second is I would get business card printed where on one side it would say my name, my number. On the second side, it would say what I do for what type of customers. I provide video editing services for startups. No, that is one example. And then at the event, physically, they typically have a networking time or a networking session. I would go to every single person who is there. I would introduce myself. I would talk to them, understand what they do, give them my card, and take their card or take their number and write it down. Next step is I would go back home and I would send a message to every single person that I met, whose number I have, and I would say, "Hey, it was great meeting you. Just it was great speaking with you, loud XYZ. And just a quick reminder, I'm Rajan and I do XYZ. So if you or anybody you know, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to help." And boom, I do this for every meetup, every event that I can find. And before you know it, you'll have three customers. I like it. I like it a lot. Just gonna have to clean this shit. I'm gonna log this in for now. We done our always chips, always chips. Okay, so what is next? Next, let's look at more stuff, more stuff, more stuff. Oh, 99 after coaching.
After coaching thousands of freelancers, I can usually tell in 10 minutes who.
Yeah, this is not for me.
I once lied to a client and it made me $20,000.
I actually have a story like this. Okay, let's see.
I once lied to a client.
I think I can copy this exact code.
I once lied to a client and it made me $20,000. Here's what happened, and what most freelancers completely miss about pricing.
Okay. So I'll tell you the story first, and then we can create the script around it, right? Because as I've said earlier, that you take ideas, you take inspiration from those, you take angles, and then you add your own meat of the material, like actual stories, actual things that have happened to you. And this is an actual story that happened to me. And this is how almost everything started for me. I I am always a big believer of when a client asks you whether you can do this or do that, especially when you are starting, right? Now I would not do it, but especially when you're starting out. um, Whenever you're speaking with a lead, with a prospect, with anybody, and they ask you, oh, can you do this, can you do that, that's like in the general domain of things that you could potentially do. You say yes even if you don't know how to do it, and then you figure it out. So I'll give you two examples. One is a smaller one, one is a bigger one that made me a lot of money, and then that kind of got me the start. One story is there was this female who was a dance teacher, and she wanted me to record a video of her workshop and kind of create like a promotional video. And I was like, yeah, sure, absolutely, I can do it. I gave her a price for like two, three, 4,000 rupees, and I'll come in, I'll shoot, I'll edit, and I'll do everything. That this is like the very, very start of my freelancing, and it was the next day. I said, oh yeah, yeah. We logged everything in, and I went to Google, and I am searching how to make a video for a dance workshop for a dancer, and this that because I had no clue what to do. I had no idea whatsoever. But I said yes. I went, I recorded. It was an okayish video that came out. But that gave me a lot of confidence in my ability to figure shit out. And as an entrepreneur, as a freelancer, as a business person, figure it out ability, like, or figuring shit out's ability, you need to have the ability to figure it out no matter what comes along your way. So that, and then second, this is the bigger thing. I met with a client who wanted my help to create or who was looking for somebody to help him create a video course. And I was like, oh yeah, absolutely, I can do that. Because by that time I knew a lot about um, video shooting and editing and putting it together. And he's like, oh, can you help me write the content for it? I was like, yeah, absolutely. I had no clue what writing, script writing, content writing at that point was. But again, I would go home, I would uh, do a lot of research on YouTube and on Google. I would figure some things out. And then the next day, I would tell him, okay, let's do this. Right? And then he asked me, okay, once you make this course, can you help me market it? Again, I had no clue about marketing. And I was like, oh, yeah, absolutely. I think here is what we should. And then again, I would go back home and I would figure out and I would come up with ideas and then we would market it. And then that engagement with that client turned into like a 1 2 year long engagement where I was getting paid about 50,000, 80,000, anywhere between 50 to 80,000 rupees a month for giving an hour or two of time. And that client also got a lot of value out of it. So so whenever a client asks you something that is in your general domain, always say yes and then figure it out. And that is the story we're gonna talk about here. I once lied to a client and paid me 50,000 rupees. Here's what. And I keep forgetting that. probably cannot see what I'm writing or what I'm doing. Okay. So let me do this. All right. So I once lied to a client and he made me 50,000 rupees, and here's what happened. And why the famous quote from Richard Branson should be tattooed on every freelancer's brain. The reason why I'm doing it is because I want to elongate the payoff, and I want people to be wondering like, why? What quote? Fantastic opportunity. Say yes. And then let me see. Famous Richard Branson. Say yes and figure it out. If somebody offers you an amazing opportunity, uh, I didn't know anything about marketing. Right? I said, oh, located on few things, right? Few general things I had heard about marketing. You know what? Will you help us market this video? And I would like to share it. Yes, at that point, I was a video. Marketing. I had no idea about marketing. But I said, hell yes. Went home, watched bunch of videos, read a lot of articles to come up with a strategy for marketing. Like, so much. Return to my engagement. for that. Say yes and figure it out. Okay, let's give this to Mr. ChatGPT and see. Help me write a script for Instagram. My message, however long it is. Uh, yeah, let's see what Mr. ChatGPT comes up with. Yeah, this is a good script. I'm just gonna turn things around a little bit, structure what what I think is better. All right, Mr. ChatGPT. Okay, pause. Here's what actually happened. Yeah, but a little bit of cleanup, a little bit of this. I know I will get the clean version from ChatGPT, but I like doing it myself. Yeah, I'm a little crazy that way. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I once lied to a client and it made me 50,000 rupees. Here's what happened. Here's what happened. Here's what actually happened. And why every freelancer should have that famous Richard Branson quote tattooed their brain. When I started freelancing, I was working on a video project for a client. Pure video work, no marketing, no strategy, just editing. Near the end of the project, the client casually asks me, "What do you think? How should we market this video?" And the truth, I had zero idea about marketing. But instead of saying I don't know, I blurted out a few things I'd heard here and there, generic stuff. And then he says, "You know what? Will you help us market this video?" And I was just like, "Yeah." Because at that time, I was just a video guy, not a marketer. But I said yes. I went home, watched hours of videos on marketing and read blogs, studied strategies. And after all of that, I built a marketing plan from scratch. And the client loved it. That one time engagement turned into like a monthly engagement. And I made an extra 50,000 off of that. And over the longer period of time, I made significantly more money. And, and that is what. Oh, by the way, the quote from Richard Branson says, "If somebody offers you an amazing opportunity, but you're not sure you can do it, say yes, then learn how to do it later." So the next time somebody asks you if you can do something slightly outside your comfort zone, say yes and figure it out. I like it. I like it. I like it. There's a quote from Richard Branson. Every moment. Okay. Colleague. Okay. Done. So actually, you know what? Do you remember that company called Dunzo? Is it still around? Was a popular brand? Oh my God. Did it die? Like, is it done? Was largely defunct services despite an on and on. Dissolved its main operations around. Oh my God. Oh, sucks for you guys. Sorry to hear that. They had very creative marketing, huh? Like they're with like big bright colors and everything, yeah. Anyways, coming back to our original plan of Instagram. So I have now two videos that I can make today. So like we made these two videos yesterday and these two videos the day before. And tomorrow again, I will let you know how this goes. Let me know if you want to watch me actually create these videos because right now we're just making the script and everything, right? And let's see if we can actually create these videos on the live. I don't know how I'll do it because a lot of time what my process looks like is just like I pull up the camera and just start talking because what I think or I saw this guy. Okay, I'll show you actually. Ryan Mackie. So he said something in one of his recent videos that really resonated a lot with me, and I also think about. I also think a lot about putting constraints on what you can do and what you cannot do whenever you try to achieve a goal. So right now my goal is, let's say I want to make a video every single day on Instagram. And the goal after that is I want to grow or I want to build a following on Instagram, right? So what this guy said is you need to put out a lot of content. What been seeing from a lot of people is they're putting out three, four, five, maybe even more content. And in one of the videos recently, this guy said, or this specific video, I'll actually show it to you and then I'll tell you my thoughts on it.
2026 is going to be the year the creator crash out. If your content isn't scalable, you will fail. And what I mean by scalable is you need to be able to film, edit, post a video in like 10 minutes or less. The only way you're going to do that is you start taking out your phone and making more videos. It's like a low effort, higher output content. An example of this is last night.
So, so here's the idea. I mean, I'll forget about everything else he said in his video. You need to be able to record, edit, and post a video in 10 minutes. That seems like a great fucking challenge. And think about the kind of things that it opens up for. Okay, I only have 10 minutes. I need to be able to shoot and edit and post the video within roughly, let's say, 10 to 15 minutes. And so what does that require? Now that requires me to first have be able to record anywhere, anytime, fairly quickly. One, without a script, so free balling, and talk like this. Second is it would require me to be able to edit on my phone because a lot of times what happens is I record the video and then I'm just kind of dreading over putting, it into Premiere and then editing it and all of that. So like, okay, that kind of helps me use the Instagram edits app and not make it too complicated. The whole idea is to not make things too complicated. Because anytime I've tried to make like a really good quality video, I've spent weeks not working on it because I'm just dreading the amount of work I'm going to have to put in. I need to know the right way to do it, and I need to have the right equipment, and the right this, and the right that. So I don't execute it. But if I had that mindset, right? Look at this, right? This would not have happened. This 2300 views would not have happened. So I think directionally this is the right thing to do. So one is you need to be able to record, edit, and post a video in 10 minutes. That's a great challenge to have. And there's a second thing that he says. I have to see where I can find another thing in another video that he's saying. I have two actually, you know what, I'll just pull up my saved videos. I have two videos saved for that. Speak in hooks, which is another great thing, right? Whenever,
You need to speak in hooks. You need to be thinking about it when you're sitting on a podcast. Somebody asks you a question, speak in a hook. When you're out with your friends and there's a phone on you, speak in a hook. The more you can speak in hooks, the better your videos will perform because you're mastering the art of getting attention. Whether
so that's a great way to learn how to create good and better hooks. Speak in hooks all the time. Like whenever somebody asks you a question, answer it like you were answering in a hook, or start with a hook. And somebody asks you, "Oh, what do you think about that?" That absolutely sucks, and here is why. Right? If you could do that, if you could actually do that, like think about it. If you could actually do that, right? Uh, Somebody who's recording, or eventually you would get to a place where you're just recording yourself, and then people could clip it, and then your whole life is just content, which is like a fun, great thing to have. No, I don't know. At least that's what I think right now. But yeah. So this was the stream for today. I think we have created two videos, which I am happy about this content. And I think everything on this stream has been just like taking inspiration from other people and then kind of relating and talking about it. And yeah, so let's see if we can. So what I'm gonna do now after this is I'm gonna make these videos again in the 10 minutes time and post them on um, trial reels today, and maybe bring it into the actual feed tomorrow. And I'll let you know what happens tomorrow on the live stream. And I think I want to do another live stream today, which is going to be more focused on cold outreach. So I'll tell you what happened, what I've been thinking. So I do the way I get all of the customers for my agency is through cold outreach. And right now, what I have is let me show you. I have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. I have 8 email IDs through which I send cold emails. Now, here's the math. Okay. The math says you can send roughly 30 to 50 emails per email ID. And roughly you get one call per 2000 to 2500 emails sent. Now I want to get on, let's say, 10 calls in a month through my cold outreach. And so that would require me to send about 25,000 emails a month. Now, if I can only send 30 to 50 emails per email ID, how many emails do I need? So let's say I need 25,000 emails. I have 20 days in a month that I can send emails because I cannot send emails on weekends. And so, how many emails do I need to send? I need to send roughly about 1100 emails per day. Not even 1100, actually, more than that. Let's see. 25,000. Oh my God. 25,000 divided by 1250 emails every day. Yeah. So 1250 emails every day. So now we have a number of the emails that we need to send every single day. So 1250 emails every day. So let's see if I can send only 1250 divided by 1250 divided by 30. So I need 41, or let's say for posterity's sake, 42 email IDs to be able to send 1250 emails per day at 30. So 30 into 42. 30 into 42. Yeah, roughly 1260. Yeah. So 42 email IDs. How many do I have now? 8 email IDs. So I need to buy another what, 36 email IDs. In order to get 36, I need 12 domains into 3 email IDs per domain. So that will get me 56 email IDs. So what I'm going to do in the next stream, or maybe another stream that I do today, is I'm gonna show you the process of buying the domains, creating the emails, setting up the DNS records, and then starting the warm up on all of these emails. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know if I'll do it today or I'll do it tomorrow, but I'm going to do it for sure because I have to get this done. What I've realized is that when I do my work on live streams, I am more focused and I get it done better. So live streams are like an external pressure. I have to get shit done. Okay, so that's it for today. If you have any questions about everything that we've done so far, please let me know in the chat. I'll wait here for 2 minutes and then I'm gonna log off. Yes, I think we're done. So so actually, this is a good photo. I might need this. Okay, this is full outreach live stream. Okay, I guess you don't have any questions. Thank you so much for signing in, for tuning in, and for listening to me, hanging out with me, chilling with me. Let me know if you have any specific things that you'd like to know or what work on specific tasks on this live stream. So for today or tomorrow. And I hope you can hear me then. I'll only find out about it afterwards. So yeah. Cool. Thank you so much. I will see you tomorrow or in the next stream. Bye bye.